I've always been a student of technology, of innovation and change, and I've always believed from my earliest part of my career that innovation fuels a lot of the things that we aspire to have and do.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Ad Podcast, coming to you from Possible here in Miami today. We've got Robert Davidman. Davidman? Did I pronounce that right? Davidman, who is the CEO of World Series of Golf.
Yes.
Let's go.
All right.
So, Robert, tell me a little bit about yourself, and for those who aren't familiar, what's the World Series of Golf?
World Series of Golf is a golf tournament that we play on a golf course, but it's patented, and the patent is around the method of gameplay.
Okay.
So every shot is bet on like a hand of poker.
Oh, interesting.
So it combines the skill of golf with the strategy of poker.
Interesting. So it's kind of, you always see, whenever I'm out on the course, you hear guys betting on holes and giving each other odds. Golfing and gambling has kind of as old as time, I think, right?
It's I don't know anybody that goes out and just plays.
Yeah, it kind of makes it interesting, as they say, right?
Yes, very, very interesting.
So I imagine the idea is to get people to tune in and participate in the gambling opportunity, or not really.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So what we do is we film it for TV and streaming.
Yep.
It's an invitation-only tournament, and it combines high net worth individuals, celebrities, no professional golfers.
No pros. Okay, interesting.
No pros.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Is it a charitable component too?
There is a charitable component.
Nice.
It costs $10,000 to play, and the winner takes home $250,000.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, how are you getting the audience involved in the opportunity to risk some and wager some bets?
Well, we don't really do that.
Okay.
And the reason we don't do it is for several things. Number one, it's all the banter that you see between the players talking to each other in between shots when they're trying to bet. And somebody says, I think you should go all in here, right? Knowing that they're going to probably win the hole. So it's a lot of fun. So there's a lot of editing that happens in post. So it's sort of like watching.
It can't be live, essentially, for something like that.
It's hard. No, we could do it live. It's just a little bit harder. We find it's just a lot better when we can do it much more produced.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Talk about the distribution. So you mentioned streaming, which I imagine is kind of your owned and operated channels, or do you have a traditional partner for distribution?
So we work with a variety of streaming platforms, YouTube and others, where we can post this. In the past, this has aired on major networks, so we've done that as well. So I've been tasked with rebranding and kind of positioning the brand and putting it on TV. So we're going to do it this year. It's exciting. We're going to make some announcements very shortly.
Amazing.
And we made an announcement in September of last year that we're going to do 2 events in Mexico, one this year and one next year. So that's really exciting. We partnered with a company called Skip Barber Racing, and they actually have a resort that they've partnered with in Mexico, just outside of Mexico City, called Gran Reserva, and they're building a race course. So they're going to bring down racing, auto racing, and we'll have the World Series of Golf on their 18-hole golf course.
Wow.
It's just really, really beautiful.
So you're thinking already in the idea of a tour versus an event?
Oh, absolutely. This is something that we'll do a few a year. In the past, we've done 1 a year. Now we're going to do 2 or 3, maybe even 4 in a year, depending where we go. And we're talking with other partners to bring in satellite tournaments. So we think there's going to be a lot of opportunity here.
What about the idea of an audience? Do people get to come down and watch along from the sidelines if they want?
They absolutely can.
Yeah.
Typically a lot of the golfers will bring some of their friends and family, but it's definitely something that people can come and watch.
So what are the opportunities for brands to get involved? I imagine that's one of the reasons you're down here.
Absolutely. So it's there's a couple of things. So first of all, we market. So one of the reasons for being at Possible is to really understand the marketing landscape. A lot of the things that have changed, I mean, they've changed so rapidly. It's just things that you don't know that you don't know. That's what I want to find out. So I'm here to learn all about that. But for brands that want to work with us, it's really, really exciting because there's so many different opportunities to get involved from a player level all the way up to the tournament level and such. So there's a lot of really interesting opportunities, from sponsoring the golf carts, sponsoring a team, because lots of players. Think of having a brand team and you have 6 players. They're playing in different groupings, but every time the grouping is on TV, you have your brand logo.
Yep.
So there's really an interesting opportunity there. And then you have manufacturers. So golf manufacturers are, endemic to this, right?
The OEMs. I live in Carlsbad, so I'm quite familiar.
Yeah, you would know this.
Yeah. Talk about just golf in general. So COVID gave it a huge bump because it was one of the first and only things you could do as far as like team sports together. I remember playing at a golf course where, they didn't have the cup anymore because they didn't want people all reaching into the same hole to gather their golf balls. You had to hit the bumper cup that was sitting kind of above on the tee. But, I think the bright lining of a lot of, outdoor activities, whether it was going camping or, buying a surfboard for the first time, or we had seen millennials really drop off as a group of people who are interested in golf because they didn't have the patience for, a 3 or 4 hour, getting out on the course, and they didn't see that. They said that as something that their parents did, but not really for them. But COVID kind of, like a lot of industries, gave it a huge spike. Do you see golf from a participatory perspective and a fan engagement perspective continuing to maintain some of that growth that it had during COVID, or what do you think the general health and state of the golf market is from your perspective?
So it's an interesting question. I think that golf on its own, it's a transgenerational sport. It's the sport that a grandson can play with his grandfather.
Yeah.
Right? Or a granddaughter can play.
A lot of skill versus athleticism, but still, the athletes can hit it farther, but there's a lot of skill involved.
But that's why you have a handicap.
Yeah.
Right? So it evens the playing field, right? And it makes it fun to play no matter what your handicap is. You can still play with somebody that's better than you, but you can still have fun and be competitive. The attention economy is something that is taken over, and people's attention spans are fleeting, like a tsetse fly.
Yeah.
And they don't have, especially younger people, don't have the time to watch a 60-second video. They'll skip it, right? They'll watch for 10 seconds, 30 seconds max, and they skip. So when you look at golf, and you look at golf the way it's presented on TV now, it's rather stale, it's rather boring, right? There's a lot of commentary because there's not always going to be great shots, great highlights, and younger people are looking for that action. Then you look at something like TGL, which changed the way people look at golf. It makes it a bit more exciting, right? It's indoors, it's, there's a lot of real interesting camaraderie between the players and talking, and you hear a lot of these things which you don't hear on a PGA broadcast. Well, the World Series of Golf does something even better.
Yeah.
It makes every shot matter. So now what that does is it drives their stakes.
Yep.
Every shot matters. So in a PGA event, a mistake on hole number 3 might not make any difference until hole 17, right? But a mistake on shot 2 on hole number 3 is going to impact shot 4 on hole number 3.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are you thinking about, I know you mentioned celebrities, high net worths, are you thinking about creators as well? Obviously there's a huge creator economy around golf in general, but then a lot of creators that also like to golf. So there's an opportunity to bring audience by bringing people that bring an audience with them.
Creators are more than welcome. And we absolutely invite them in. As long as they're not on the Pro Tour, they're more than welcome to come. And we think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there, especially the interesting golf creators that like to kind of throw shade at other people. I think that'll be a lot of fun, especially when somebody makes them put their foot in their mouth.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So, what are you excited about here at Possible? What does your week look like? What are you trying to get accomplished, and what are you looking forward to?
So, I'm looking forward to learning.
Nice.
I really, I've always been a student of technology, of innovation and change, and I've always believed from my earliest part of my career that innovation fuels a lot of the things that we aspire to have and do. I mean, I look back at the start of my career, and I would never have imagined where we are today.
It's pretty crazy.
And how rapidly the tech is changing, even in months now.
Yeah.
And it's just astonishing. And the thing that I want to do is learn everything that I can.
Is your background from golf, live sports at all? Tell us a little bit about what you were doing before this role.
So my background is in tech and marketing. I started my career pretty early on. I worked at a small internet startup called AudioNet, which then became a little bit larger startup called Broadcast.com, which then got sold to Yahoo. And from there, I got involved in online gaming and was a part of the early online gaming business.
The guys down in Costa Rica?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, a friend of mine was the CMO of Absolute Poker, so I've heard some stories.
I think I know him.
Nice.
So, yeah, I have been in the online gaming business for many years. Operated an online casino and sportsbook in Canada. When I sold that in 2023, I've had a marketing agency, and I have a marketing agency that operates now called FearLS. And it's very, very interesting to see how the agency world is changing.
Yeah.
It's so dynamic, and data is the linchpin of everything. But what's really interesting is seeing how data from different sources, in the past, you just weren't able to do much with it, right? You had to do a lot of different things. Now, I have teams that sit there and they're magicians with the data, and they can make it all talk to each other.
Yeah.
And that's what's exciting. And I want to see what innovations people are doing with things like data, things like marketing stacks. It's very, very interesting. So, prior to World Series of Golf, I was doing a lot of very, very interesting things in media, in marketing, in tech. And, I'm always looking for the next big thing.
Very exciting. Well, folks want to follow along on the games or the tours, maybe get involved. Where would you like to send the audience to learn more?
Go to wsg.golf.
Let's go. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Cheers.